Released on November 12th, The Rise of the Golden Idol is the sequel to The Case of the Golden Idol, and once again, the players must solve puzzles to understand the events and tragedies surrounding the ancient artifact. The structure of the gameplay remains the same as the first game, split into two parts. First, the exploring phase requires the player to search the environment, clicking on people and objects looking for clues about the event being displayed, and the second part is the deducing phase, where the player has to use the keywords found to fill in the blanks, solving the case. You can find most of the words and clues very easily, but it has gotten harder compared to the first game, mostly because the screens are now more cluttered, with clues hidden in places so packed that you can overlook them, or seem just as background. The highlight function returns to help players find all the clues. In the first game, the mechanic was a nice addition for people who didn't want to pixel hunt, but in the second game I felt it more necessary since some clues were hard to find. In the deducing phase, you will use the keywords and go back and forth between the clues to solve the case, with the cases growing in complexity as the game progresses. Both the exploring and deducing phases are more complex when compared to the first game, and there are hints available if you find yourself stuck. I managed to get through the game without using them, but it did take way longer. The game has 18 stages spread across 5 chapters, with each chapter having one extra mystery tying all its cases together, plus one final chapter where all the mysteries come to a head. Excluding the prologue, in terms of difficulty, the second game starts with a case that would be about halfway through the first game, and ends with a case of similar difficulty to the final case of the first game. The major difference I felt compared to the case of the Golden Idol was in the exploration phase, with the cases having more clues to find but condensed into fewer screens, which resulted in more cluttered screens and clues hidden in some odd places. The thinking phase also became harder, but not by much. Additionally, the progression got a bit inconsistent, with some harder cases being followed by easier cases. I clocked about 12 hours in the game, but I was being stubborn and refusing to use the hints, and only using the highlight when I had already wasted a ton of time looking for all the clues, so my playtime ended up longer than most. The game once again uses a cartoonish art style for its visuals, but ditches the pixels for drawn characters and environments. The 70s setting is also a departure from the original Victorian one. The story starts with the discovery of a body under a bridge, but this time you investigate the events preceding this tragedy, unlike the first game where you investigated the events after the first tragedy. The chapters this time are also non-linear, so the timeline of events do not follow the sequence of the chapters. One part that I didn't like was that the game leaves one plot point open, clearly leaving space for a DLC or sequel. The first game was a bit too short, but The Rise of the Golden Idol is just the right size. It manages to surpass its predecessor in all aspects, from visuals and story to difficulty. Thanks for watching. If you want to add anything to what I said, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this review, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you around.